Welcome to Lesson 1.14's Math Moment. Today students continue to learn about how to find basic ratios from ratios that have larger numbers. So today we're going to look at the example, what is the basic ratio of 4 to 28? So to find the basic ratio, I'm going to rewrite my ratio. And then I'm going to start thinking about numbers that those two numbers have in common, things that I could divide both numbers by in order to make these numbers smaller. So again, these can vary. Students might see that they have a 4 in common and pull out a 4. They might see that they have a 2 in common, and I'm actually going to show you both examples. Let's start first with a 4, because that's the bigger number and that's what we encourage students to look for, the bigger number. So I know that I could divide by 4 here and also divide by 4 here. Again, I'm moving these and curving this problem up because my numbers are getting smaller when I divide, and when we work with in a table or with ratios, the smaller numbers are up top, and then we get larger as we go down the table. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. I use my ratio colon symbol. 28 divided by 4 is 7. I know that once I have a 1 in my ratio, I can't get any more basic than 1. There's nothing smaller that I'm going to be able to use in a ratio problem than a 1. So this is as basic as it goes, 1 to 7. We use this strategy to show students that 4 to 28 is equal to 1 to 7. And sometimes it might be easier to use a basic ratio than the larger numbers. I'm also going to show the same problem by pulling out a different number or dividing by a different number. Students might not see automatically that there's a 4 to divide by. Maybe they just see that there's a 2, and that's all right. Students could divide both sides by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 28 divided by 2 is 14. Then students would need to look at the 2 and 14 and say to themselves, what do those numbers have in common? Hopefully they would see that these are both even numbers, and again, they can divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And they end up getting the basic ratio of 1 to 7. These types of problems allow for students to have a little variety in their steps, and that's just fine. If you have any more questions about Lesson 1.14, make sure to see your math teacher.